Firstly, commiserations on the loss. How does it feel? I guess that's
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed for the lads, really, because this group have put a tremendous amount of work in when you consider they came back probably middle of May, so almost 12 months of non-stop effort, and the effort's been tremendous. Unfortunately, over the 2 legs, we didn't get the rewards that perhaps we'd shown in previous games, but that's the way it is, unfortunately. Tremendously proud of the lads. They've done really, really well.
There was a 9-point deficit that quickly turned into a 29-point deficit. What happened in that first half? What went so wrong?
We weren't accurate enough. We get, given the ball up when we got down there. I think if you actually look at their 2 tries that they scored in the first half, or maybe one was an interception early, first move of the game, and a couple of times we got down into their 22, put pressure on, but we didn't come away with points, and that's you have to do. Yeah, it's one of our key principles is when we get down into those positions, we take our opportunities, and unfortunately, we didn't tonight. And they played really well. I mean, I thought Bedford over 2 legs were the better team, but it shows how far we've come as a team. Bedford have probably a good example, 3 semi-finals in 4 years, I think, something like that, if not 4 out of 4. So that's where I would like this club to be, and the players are determined to come back in pre-season and get going on it.
Greasy conditions, did they have a lot to do with that accuracy in the first half?
No, I think the pitch dried up pretty well in the end, and really the weather should actually focus the minds a bit more. But we didn't start well, unfortunately, and when we do start well in games, we relax a little bit and we get our game going. Unfortunately, we were chasing the game today, but when you look at that second half performance, what an effort, what character to come back, and probably could have sneaked another one at the end there. Unfortunately, we dropped the ball, but that's another day.
What did you say at half time? Did you give them the sort of hair blower treatment?
No need really. I just said it's 40 minutes and we come off the field, look each other in the eye, and we say we've done a good job, and we got momentum, we showed our play and what we can do, and we put Bedford under pressure. But they're a good team. They hung on really, really well, and I wish them all the best in the final.
Are they good enough to do it?
I think anybody's good enough at this stage if you get through to a final. They're a good team. They can score tries. They defended, I thought, very well in the last 2 legs. They're going to be there or thereabouts. We're in the final.
We saw the first try come extremely early in that second half, 4 minutes in from Alex Lewington. Was there genuine belief at that stage?
I think so, yeah. I think you could see that in the play. I mean, as soon as we got a bit direct, got over the gain line, put them under pressure, you could see the lift, and I think from a crowd perspective as well. I mean, fantastic crowd tonight. We didn't give them too much to cheer about in the first half, but in the second half, the loudness, the noise levels was brilliant, and that bodes well for the future. What we need to do is to make sure those people keep coming back and cheering the lads on, and if we can get the crowd right and buzzing and our play's good, then we're a handful for anyone.
Would you have loved to see that sort of Dan Montague try and that later Reece Crane try just come those few minutes earlier, just before half time? Do you think that would have changed the entire...
Possibly. It's all ifs and buts, isn't it? Unfortunately, as I said, we weren't accurate enough. When we are, we're in good shape, and they took their opportunities that came. That came. They didn't play too much. They put pressure on us with their kicking game, putting it down the field, and almost said, well, come at us. But we got into their 22 a number of times in the first half, so didn't come away with points.
At the end of the day, I guess this has been a remarkable season. Highest league finish in 21 years since relegation from the top flight. Made it to the playoffs for the first time. Just how proud can you be right now, despite the disappointment?
Very proud. There's a lot of guys who are leaving, and they've done a lot for this club, and we wish them well. There's guys here who are staying, who will have a taste of this and what it's like. They know the effort they're going to have to put in through pre-season and the games, and hopefully this time next year we'll be in a similar position where we can talk about getting through to the final. And it's a big ask. It's a tough league, and they've done brilliantly to get here. If you look at some of the results, like Bristol at home, phenomenal scoreline. London Scottish here, Doncaster here, away at Rotherham. First time for 7 years we've won away at Rotherham. So there's a lot of good to be built on over the summer. A taste of defeat will not do us any harm whatsoever. It means we'll come back firing next year.
So just to take that almost one step back isn't the worst thing in the world, because this can almost be the making of a club when you're almost so close and you can build on it.
It's the making of the club. It's still about hard work though. It's still about our core values of trust and honesty. It's important that the guys have a bit of a break now. and we come back ready for Joe Brun on the 17th of June, and we have a really good pre-season and we get our game. As I said, this league is a tough league, and teams have recruited, and there's no easy games, home or away. So for us, we've sent the benchmark for us. What we need to do now is to make sure that we get to those standards and try to improve on what we've done this year.
Do you have any sort of last thoughts on the season, even in this most raw of moments right now? To put you on the spot.
My thoughts are we've done really, really well. I mean, I hate losing, the guys hate losing, so that's a good feeling to have. I don't want to really be in this position again, but we've done tremendously well to get here. The experience that we got from tonight for the guys that are going to be here next year will be invaluable.